everybody. Hold on. One more. Okay. Hi.
You're live.
Good morning. I was trying to tell Just Deb hello. She was the last one I was able to squeeze in. Good morning, family and friends. How are you on this Monday morning? I forgot to clean my glasses, so let me do that real fast. So hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. It's a little rainy here, I think, on Saturday. It's really funny because I say this all the time. I don't mean to be a broken record for those of you who know what a record is. But everyone's like, what's a record? But it's like there's no day off to reset. So it just spills into the next. And so all of a sudden it's like, it's Monday again. I'm like, but I don't even know when did Thursday happen? Like, when did Friday happen? So it's okay. As always, we're super grateful for that. But I feel like I was just here with you yesterday. Anyway, so good morning, everybody. So I have my mug today. Look at this one. Be kind. This is definitely important. And look at this. Look at this. They made it for lefties and righties. So I can hold it and I can see it and be reminded to be kind. And so can you, my friend. So good morning. This is my second cup. I am going to try to, I know I say this all the time, but I really do have to scoot because I have a new homeowner orientation for some clients out in Four Seasons today. So I need to try to skadoodle my booty out of here.
Yes, I'm laughing at you.
Eric is, why are you laughing at me?
You'll never make it.
Oh, Eric always laughs at me. I know, but I'm going to try. I really am going to try. If I did not get to say good morning to you, Rhonda, I see you popped in. Geraint, I didn't get to say hello to you. So hello, good morning. So we have a, do what?
You can do
So this is what happens. So there's this button over here on my little doo-wah ditty. That's an official term. The little doo-wah ditty over here with all of these lovely buttons that Eric works so hard to make pretty for me and easy to understand. And there's a button on here that says comments. And so when I do comments, that button, it allows you to see kind of what's going on, right? So you can kind of see what I see. Well, what's happened the past two coffee times is that I thought I would share with you while I'm saying good morning and hello to everybody. I would click on that button. But when I click on that button, it throws the whole intro off. So Eric was a little PO'd at me the past couple times. Yes, you were.
I was disappointed.
In the marriage. Yes, he was. He was a little bitter.
I was disappointed.
Disappointed. Anyway, so yes. So here we go. So Shelly. Okay, so I have to tell you this real quick. So Shelly is one of my sweet clients. She was in town with her husband, Dennis, and they looking at houses. And she had the most beautiful dress on, and I loved it. I kept staring at it the whole time we were out looking at homes. And then finally, I was like, where did you get your dress? So she told me she got it at Talbot's. And so I went online. And so this is the dress. So Shelly, thank you for letting me be twinsies with you. It was just so stinking cute. It was definitely my color. And I know you're not here for fashion stuff, clearly, with me. But in this case, Shelly does have fashion sense and good taste. And so she just had the most adorable dress on. And I was like, okay, that's really cute. I think I would like one. And so she sends me the tag. And so we're just like girlfriends, right? We're just texting back and forth. And then I immediately went online and ordered it, and it came in, and it's so comfortable. And so this is what I'm wearing today, because today is going to be jam-packed with lots and lots and lots of activity.
What else is today, Amy?
Okay, well, I was going to get there. He jumps on me all the time.
I'm producing.
He thinks I'm going to forget.
I'm producing.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to forget, and you jumped on it. So yes, I will stop then. Okay, so good Monday morning, everybody. Happy Juneteenth. This is the official flag for Juneteenth. Red, white, and blue. Love it. So for those of you that are off and celebrating or recognizing, I know that like the title companies are off because I actually had a closing originally scheduled for today. And when we, a couple of weeks ago, they're like, oh, hey, we realized that's Juneteenth, offices are closed that day. So for any of you that might be enjoying a 3-day weekend, happy Juneteenth to you. I see Miss Susan Forsgren. Hi, Susan. Oh my gosh, I miss you so much. And we love you. We love you. You got to come visit me. Would you please come visit? Bring the whole family. Come visit. There's no excuse. No excuse, Susan. You better get here. All right.
She's going to be a grandma.
I know you do. You have an excuse. You're going to be a grandma. So you need to get here before the baby comes so that we can chat about all that and I can live vicariously through you. Okay? Okay, good. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get going because I know this is what Eric he needs me to do because I have to leave early. Eric, would you get me some water, please? You didn't let her. Yes, please. Would you give me some water?
Yes.
Thank you, dear. All right, so let's go ahead and get to what's brewing so we can get the show started. Oh, thank you. All right. So good morning. Yeah, I don't know why. I usually am stocked over here. I usually have my coffee. I usually have a Diet Coke, and then sometimes I have water. But for some reason, I'm a little choked up this morning. Maybe it's because of Father's Day. So how did you guys celebrate your Father's Day? Let me know in the comments. I know a lot of us spent remembering our fathers that are no longer with us. Here's my daddy. Let me show you a picture of my daddy. I think I showed it to you before, but this is a picture of my daddy. Oh, can I do it? Yeah, that's my daddy. My daddy passed away a long time ago when Alyssa was just an infant, so it's been quite a while. But I keep that picture right here on my desk because he had the most just rigorous work ethic. He was a printer. I think I've mentioned this before. He was the old timey printer, right, where you had the printing press and all of that. His print shop smelled like ink, and there was just paper and ink everywhere. His hands were always stained with ink. But I do know 100% that I get my work ethic from him. So I keep his picture right here. So for my father, happy Father's Day in heaven. For those of you that were out and about, let me know what you did, but let me tell you what we did on Father's Day. So this was, and I say Father's Day weekend because it was a weekend. And somebody, who did I just see? Gary said, Rob, glad to hear I'm not the only one that does that, meaning that they spend most of Saturday thinking that it's Sunday. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes I just don't know where we are in the calendar, and that's okay. That's all right. So this is part of what we did over the course of the weekend. First of all, Eric cooked out on his grill. We had some burgers and some hot dogs and some French fries with a little Old Bay seasoning on them. I guess he partook in a Mike's Hard Lemonade. Huh?
Did you say Old Navy on them?
Old Bay.
I thought you said Old Navy.
Old Bay. I said Old Bay.
I thought you said Old Navy.
I did not Old Navy. I said Old Bay. Well, you're messing it up. You're flubbing it up. All right, just you go stand in your zone there, mister. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we had a lovely cookout. Alyssa and Hong came over yesterday, so we had a little bit of time together. We were going to go in the pool, which is that beautiful dog with the tennis ball in her mouth, except she pooped in the pool. There you have it, full disclosure. She pooped in the pool. So we may need to get a dog psychologist or something, figure out what her dealio is. And I'm not kidding. She's a special one. She's super sweet and she loves the water, but it kind of took the fun out of the pool day. Also, at the very bottom of that is a cooler. So we noticed at my daughter Elizabeth's house, Elizabeth and her husband Steele, over the course of the weekend, they were putting the tiles on the roof, and it was blazing hot. If you remember last week, we talked about heat wave and how hot it was going to be this past week. So those guys were up on that roof, and tile roof, so it's heavy. And the hottest days of the summer so far. So, we went and put a cooler out there filled with just waters and Gatorades and left a note for them just to let them know that we appreciate them. And then the most important thing is up here, which is bullseye ball. Now, this really wasn't Father's Day, but this is what I spent quite a bit of my time doing. This was a game that I got a long time ago. I'm just going to let the thing play while I talk. So we got this, I don't know, the kids were little, and I am obsessed with this game. By the way, this is a horrific display of my technique. I'm still getting, but if you look at my wrist, you see the one I do 2 balls? Boom. There's and sometimes that one's slower, but that's boom. I have it down. This was a really bad display. Since then, I think the score was 80 something. That's really bad. It's embarrassing. But anyway, can I stop the video? Oh wait, there you go. 81 points. That's embarrassing. So my apologies for that. But that game is so addictive. I vividly remember getting up in the morning when the kids were little. I think we gotten it at Christmas or something. Yeah. I'm not sure, but anyway, I love it. Well, we've long since not had the game, and then Eric came across it in Target. Go ahead.
She's amazing at this game. She's the best in the world at this game. No, I last night I'm up there, I'm watching shows, and this is the bullseye ball hand. I got to I think 52, and I'm like, I was really good to get a 52. And what is your record?
Oh, I think I'm at 90 something. I think I got 90 the last time.
Exactly.
But that was this time.
That's
but
in
back
30
in
seconds.
the day, I was at 100.
That's 3 points in the bullseye and 2 points in 1 point. So that's pretty good. That means that means in 30 seconds you're scoring more than 3 points a second.
I don't know.
I'm just saying that's ridiculous.
You can bow to me. It's fine. Yes. So, by the way, look at this. Geraint says, that's your right hand you're using. Yes, it is. Very, very observant, my friend. And here's why. I am totally a lefty, true and true. So if you'll notice my pen, everything is over here to my left. My notebook. By the way, this is a left-handed notebook, right?
Oh, you got it.
So yeah, I have my left-handed notebook where the spiral is on the left. So I am truly a lefty. But because when I was growing up, in our schools at the time, there was always like one pair of left-handed scissors, and they didn't really have any left-handed desks. There was like one or two of them. And when I say left-handed desk, you may not know what I mean, but because again, some of you are younger than I am, but not all desks just had the desk in front of you. Some of it had like the little arm that curved around, and those are like right-handed people's desks. But if you were a lefty, you had to learn to adapt, right? So I throw with my right, I use scissors with my right. So my right hand is dominant in a lot of things, but definitely not writing. But yes, how funny that you recognize that. Good for you. You're very observant. Okay. So that was Father's Day. Honestly, we had a really good time. I'm a little bit bummed. Saturday I looked at the calendar, and I didn't have any meetings with clients. I had a lot of other things that I had scheduled that were all work related. But thankfully it was stuff that I could do, and I wasn't bound to a specific time to get it done until the day started going. And then everything just started, and I was sitting here at this desk, and then I look up, I'm like, okay, well, it's 10:30, and then I'm working a little bit more. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 1:30, and then we're looking again. It's like, okay, well, now it's 3:30. It's like, well, the day's gone, and Eric is in his office. I'm in my office. So we kind of deserved a little time yesterday to celebrate and have that little bit of a cookout, even though we couldn't get in the pool. It was still a fun day. I hope you all were able to celebrate with your friends, your family, your fathers. And for those of you whose fathers are like mine and no longer with you, I hope you took a moment to reflect, which I most certainly did. So anyway, let's move on. So our second topic of what's brewing is new stuff. This is exciting. If you watched our Sunday drive, we talked about this too. So let me find my new stuff button. Here it is. So we basically, in our Sunday drive, we talked about all of the places that have just opened. We're so excited. So Hash House A Go-Go just opened, and man, was it packed. So this Hash House A Go-Go and Ellie Lou's Barbecue is in the Flamingo Crossings area. Eric and I had Ellie Lou's for dinner one night, and it was so good. I had pulled pork sandwich. I had a pulled pork barbecue sandwich, and my daughter had Big Boss nachos or something that were Pit Boss nachos. Okay, fantastic. Eric had what'd you have?
I had a Kansas City wet sandwich.
Kansas City wet sandwich.
Doesn't sound great. But it was good.
It was good. And my sandwich was really good too. And I also really liked their coleslaw. So we're super excited about that place opening. Ellie Lou's, highly recommend. We have not been to Hash House A Go-Go. And the way the parking lot looked, it may be a while before we can get in there. Super excited just because it really is nice to see all of this that we've been anticipating come to fruition. It's a reality. And not only is it a reality that it's there and it's open, but the people are there, right? That all of the people that live in and around the area, it's a great location with all of the hotels that are right there because, again, that Flamingo Crossings area is so close to the back entrance of Disney. So even though they are not Disney resorts, they are super close to the parks. And so, it's a great location. So some of the other ones that opened up officially was Urban Air. That's in the Horizon West area, in the Hamlin area. Chick-fil-A opened. And I will tell you that Eric, the morning that they opened, Eric went and got his breakfast from Chick-fil-A because we want to support our community. And the other one, I can't remember what the other one was, so I'll wait for it to pop back up. So we had Urban Air, Chick-fil-A. What was the other one? Oh, that was the, what's it called, Eric? The Paris Baguette, yes, the PB, yeah. Paris Baguette. I was like, what is it? So that one opened as well. So we looked at the menu on that one. So we're super excited about that. So all of that opened, lots of stuff happening. If you come in town, Susan Forsgren, we will have lots of things to do to keep us busy. All right, so let's move on to our next one, just because I'm going to zoom. This is the Ovation update. Hold on, Eric, I'll get it. Ovation. I know. It's because he does it and it distracts me, but I can do it. Okay.
Sorry.
Real quick, before we head to the Ovation update, I know he wants me to point this out. Just as a reminder, is it not next Monday? It's July 3rd. We will be live on location at Filigree Coffee House, which is in, excuse me, Home State Brewing. It is in Hamlin. It's in Home State Brewing, but we're going to be there live. So a lot of you that live in our neck of the woods, and by the way, we completely understand, Gary, you're not going to be getting one of these in your mailbox unless you want to give me your address and we will mail you one separately, privately. But for any of you that are watching that do live in our area, you should be getting this postcard soon. These are the actual postcards that are coming in the mail. And then up here is the little mention that will be at Filigree. And if you want to come in and join us, coffee is on us that morning. So that's on July 3rd. However, next Monday, let's talk about that. Next Monday, we will not be live because we will be traveling for college orientation.
Yep.
But we will have a
Premiere. Yeah.
A premiere.
So
there you go.
Can get on chat if they want to chat to each other.
Yeah. So you guys can still have at it. Allie, I'm sure will still be there. You guys can still chat, and we will definitely be thinking of you, but we won't be live on Monday morning. All right. So let me move on then to the to where we were. Where were we? The Ovation updates. Let's hit the Ovation update. So here we go. Okay, so we're just going to kind of talk as the video plays. So Eric went out the other day. We take pictures of our clients' homes while they're under construction. And this particular day, Eric was popping out to take a few pictures of some out in the Ovation Village. And decided it was kind of a dreary day, as you can tell by the rain, but we wanted to show you. So this is West Haven at Ovation with Toll Brothers. We get a lot of questions about this. These houses are the models, and they've been up and completed for quite a while. It's just that the rest of the community was kind of at a standstill, but dun, 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 we have activity. It's a porta potty. Okay, the porta potty is great because you know what that means? There's going to be workers out there. So they are breaking ground now for the townhomes. We do have a client that's building out there that's been waiting for a very, very, very long time. We sent him a picture of a pipe because things are starting to come along. Things are starting to progress a bit. So we're really excited about that. So all of you anxiously waiting for West Haven at Ovation, we are finally going to see some movement there. Don't ask me when your home is going to be completed. All I can tell you is that, things are happening and they are moving, whereas for a while it's been just completely stagnant. So Eric's just driving around. We also went to Highland Ridge. Highland Ridge is the Meritage community. I've actually got a client in there that's getting ready to close this coming week, actually, I think. We did the new home and orientation last week. And so, you can tell that Highland Ridge, we're not there. That's not what this is.
No, this is still West Haven.
This is still West Haven.
I drove a long time. People have been waiting so long.
I know, right? I don't know if I can talk about it for that long.
In a second, it's going to switch and be in Harvest.
Okay, so Highland Ridge, we talked about that in a little bit. So yeah, so Harvest at Ovation, which is Toll Brothers.
This is it.
Okay, there you go. Harvest at Ovation, lovely sign, by the way.
Yeah.
So Harvest at Ovation with Taylor Morrison is already pre-selling, by the way. So their first release, to my understanding, remember I do not work for or represent the builder, but to my understanding, based on Taylor Morrison info and people, is that they are releasing like 30 of the bungalows first. Eric went by every street name in this community has Harvest in it, some kind of a harvest something or something harvest, which is cute, but might get old after a while. Anyway, I would hate to be like the Amazon delivery guy for that one. Anyway, but so Harvest Innovation. So I do have some good news with that. For a while we were talking about, and again, my information, because I do not work for or represent the builder, I do not claim to give you, the information I'm giving you is everything that I deem to be correct. And my sources are reliable because they are the ones opening the communities. But what's really great is that in this particular case, they were talking for a while about only doing design packages. But I believe that now for their front load garage style homes, they have decided that they will do the a la carte option. So that's a huge relief for a lot of us who were kind of like, please builders, can we get back to letting people, if they're spending this money and waiting all this time to build a home, let it be their home. So I'm appreciative of that. So anyway, so that was Harvest at Ovation. Again, this is Del Webb. So we already know about Del Webb, but I think Eric is going to go in here. And if you come into to where the guard gate will be, if you take a left, that's where the models are. But if you go over here and take a right, which I believe is what Eric said he did that day, is that like right in front of us, you see all those signs, that's going to be where the amenities are all kind of coming back over in that direction. You can see the pickleball courts over there to the left. I think we actually did something one day while we were standing there, and the guys were actually out there like stepping it off, like they were taking measurements and getting things prepped. But this shows you kind of the different phases back here in Del Webb Oasis, which by the way is a 55 plus community. Pulte, Del Webb. This again, super desirable area. All of this Ovation Village is because it is part of Disney's backyard, and it is very, very, very close to that back entrance of Disney. So it's really interesting to see these homes as they get built. Oh, look at Eric. You are just being rogue going on
That's the road closed sign, but now we're coming to Highland Ridge. So
okay.
You can see the new phase coming.
Perfect. Anyway, so now we're into the Highland Ridge, which is the Meritage one that we just talked about. Now look at Meritage. You can see they are boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom. So they have not had the same delays and issues as the other builders did on the opposite side. So so just super, super, super exciting. They've been going quite a while. And I have to say that my client's lot that's closing there next week, or this week, I guess, because it is Monday. Probably the best lot in the community. It's fantastic. So huge yard. Yeah, we did, when I did the new homeowner orientation for them, there are 8 zones for his irrigation system. Wow. 8 zones, right? For a bungalow. That's enormous. So, which by the way, this is just kind of a little while this video kind of finishes out, is one of my things. I have had some clients, like I have some clients right now that are purchasing a home site that's super, super deep. The extra depth, however, is at an incline, and the builder is not doing the irrigation on that, which is a little bit frustrating. Because in this community, by the way, it's the same builder. So that's why I have to tell you that, it's, you never get one answer. It's never one specific policy. Everything has moving pieces, and it has its own set of circumstances. But so yeah, my Meritage client in that community has 8 zones of irrigation for a bungalow. And then my Meritage client in another community that has an extra deep yard is going to have the back section of it that is at an incline is not going to be irrigated. So there's just some weird kind of disconnects there. But anyway, all right. So excuse me. I think that is all of that. But I do want to do one quick wishes. We didn't have, honestly, we were super busy, so we didn't have a lot of time to get everything together. But I do want to point this one out. I absolutely love it when first-time home buyers starting out their family, young newlyweds, purchase a new home. It just makes my heart so stinking happy. So I am super, super happy for Scott and Shannon. They have a lovely home and a lovely area, and it is going to be a great place for them to start their new chapter and start a family or whatever life may have for them. It's always fun to kind of be a part of that. So thank you to them for letting me be a part of that. All right, so let's go on to a couple of questions if we have any, and then I'm going to zoom through some of the other stuff. So let's get questions because that's more important than anything else. Are there any questions in there? Ba-ba. Let's see. No questions? Am I missing it? There's no questions for me today? I don't know. We'll have to go. All right, so let me do this. So let me... Huh? No, I'm just saying I don't see any questions.
Oh, yeah, not yet.
Oh, well then ask your questions, people. Last week was so good. But I tell you what, while we're doing that, let's do this. Let's just kind of get conversation started. Let's do Allie Knows Nothing. Let's just do that, get things going.
If I'm buying a home, do I need to have a lawyer to look over my contracts?
Okay, so that is a really good question, Allie. So the question about whether or not you need to have an attorney or a lawyer review your contract. So the answer is that is up to you, but is it required? No. Is it necessary? No. Is it something that you want to do because you feel more comfortable? Then certainly you have the right to do that. But the reason this is a really good question is because if you come from up north or in any other areas across the country or in other countries where that is common practice, that, lawyers draw up the contracts and lawyers are all around the table, the closings and things take much, much longer because we have all of the attorneys involved, then that is something that you are used to. But here in the state of Florida, our contracts are standard. So, if you're doing a purchase agreement, which is new construction from one builder to the next, then the legal wording of it is going to be the same. There's nothing that you can change or delete. And I think that's really the important thing. A lot of times people want their attorney to review it because they're like, strike this, add this, eliminate that, highlight this, whatever. I'm not a lawyer, clearly. But that cannot happen. Our contracts are standard. So if you're purchasing this new construction contract, you can't strike and add, okay? And again, the as-is contract, if there's anything in there that you need to work on, you can do that. But do you need to have an attorney review it? No, it is not required. The attorneys do not close or settle on the property either. Those are done by the title companies and closing agents who are licensed to do that. But that is up to you. Now, I have had clients that have purchased new construction or have purchased a resale home, and they live out of state, New York, New Jersey, somewhere where they're very much used to having attorneys do all of that. And so they take the contract and they have their attorney review. So you can do that. You just have to do so with the understanding that you don't get to change the terms of the contract. In that regard. So hopefully that helps. All right. So were there any questions that popped up? Not yet. But you know what? Yeah, I was going to say, let's just do Forrest because I'm excited about that. So we have crunching the numbers with Forrest. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and drink my water while we do this opening, right?
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Because the opening is the question. You gotta
yeah.
The question.
So the question is that I need water.
You want me to?
No. All right. So a lot of you know, we built our pool, and we did a video of building our pool and how much it costs. Very transparent with the costs associated with that, and we always talk about, is it worth it? And so that's really kind of what we had Forrest do. We asked him to do a super deep dive into the numbers and the data to let us know what the numbers say.
This one's easy math in terms of the cost of your pool, but only you will really be able to say if it was worth it. You made a video and shared that it cost about $175,000 to install your pool, including everything. These days, spending $175,000 on a pool probably adds about $85,000 to the resale value of your home today. Let's say you stay there for 10 years and that pool increases in resale value by about 5% a year. Sticking with round numbers, in 10 years, the pool will have added about $140,000 to the value of your home. So it will be worth about $35,000 less in resale value than you paid for it in 10 years. It's going to cost you about $15,000 to maintain the pool over that time and another $15,000 to heat it. Figure on about $10,000 in repairs and other costs, so just in terms of pure costs, you'll be behind by about $75,000. That $75,000 is spread out over 3,650 days, though. So whether or not the pool is worth it depends on whether you get $20 worth of enjoyment out of that pool every day for the next 10 years.
Okay, so I love that way of thinking about it because it is so important to break down the numbers like that. I couldn't do it, so I'm glad we have Forrest that can. Because we've always said to anybody, my clients that ask me, and we did it ourselves, knowing full well that you never get the value back out of the pool when it comes to adding that into the value of the home. But it's about your quality of life. And so if you told me for the next 10 years, $20 a day to have the pool, easy breezy, that's a no-brainer for me. And the answer is absolutely yes. Because every morning when I wake up and I go to make coffee, I look out there. I love it. Turn on the waterfall. We'll sit out there. When I go to let the dogs out in the morning, the birds are all chirping and I stand there and I kind of look and I enjoy the whole atmosphere and the whole environment. Obviously, when the kids come over, minus when the dog has an accident in the pool. But even those little quick moments to get away is so worth it. And, we talk that we work a lot. This coffee time is like the only thing I think that gets me seated for an hour-ish. Because consistently because everything else is so spinning. Everything is happening all over the place. So it's very unlikely that Eric and I ever get to or will ever get to just set aside time to go away on an actual vacation to escape. We just really simply can't escape work. But what we can do is put the phone down for 30 minutes and go sit out by the pool and just kind of float around. So when I think about $20 a day, easy breezy, no brainer. And that's why when I talk to clients about building a pool, you have to do it for your quality of life, not for what you expect to get back out of it. Because it's not likely you're going to get the full investment given back to you. But it's about what you enjoy every single day, every time you get to utilize it. And I think that speaks, much, much bigger to than the big picture number that can be the sticker shock. I love breaking it down to the $20 a day. That's definitely helpful. And by the way, I'm fully aware didn't cost me $20 a day to build it. I get it. It's just, that's a good way to think about it. That makes my mind wrap my mind around a little bit better, and it makes it a little bit more palatable. So very good on that one. Derek, did you have something?
There are questions.
There are questions. Cool. All right. Thank you for the questions. Now let me put that up. Okay. Okay. All right, Rob, which brings up the question about residential lawn care services. I must have missed something that was right before that.
You're talking about the irrigation.
Oh, the irrigation system.
How
Yeah.
much does it cost to maintain your lawn?
Oh, that's a good question. So the other thing, it depends. So in some of those communities, like for instance, that one that we talked about where the builder was, putting the irrigation system in, and it was like 8 zones. The lawn maintenance is actually included in that community. There are other communities where the lawn maintenance is not. So let me just tell you this. So it depends on if you have a townhome or if you have a bungalow. It just depends on whether or not your HOA for that specific community includes lawn care or whether it does not. Some people really like to do their own lawn maintenance. Some people do not. But it also depends on your yard, right? So if you've got a really big yard, you can expect it to be probably $100 a month. And that is generally speaking once a week, although most of the lawn maintenance services that you can contract, it's usually once a week during the summer where it grows like crazy. And then in the winter months, it's like every other week. So it's, I would say if you just kind of average about $100 a month, that's going to be close, but that's a good question because you do have to consider that, or you get your own lawnmower or you have a teenage kid that does it for you. But if you really want to have it contracted out so that they're in and out and it's zip, zip, zip and it all looks fresh. Edging is a very big deal here. I will tell you, in most of the HOAs, people will cut their lawn, but they don't edge as often as they're supposed to. And there's a lot of HOA kind of notices about keeping the edges crisp because they'll grow over onto the sidewalk. So that's a good one. All right, let's see. I live in New Jersey and I'm looking to move to Winter Garden in the next 2 years. Any incentives for retired police officers purchasing a home in Florida? Yeah. So ultimately what that is, Melanie, it's called a Hometown Heroes incentive. And it depends on the builder. It's usually first responders. Sometimes it's teachers. There's different kind of hometown hero incentives, and sometimes it's an additional $1,000 or $2,000 towards your closing costs. But I would say, in 2 years, when it's time for you to get pre-approved, there also are some loan structures. Sometimes, some of the mortgage companies, you can always ask about a hometown hero. That's what we call it. That's how we refer to it. So definitely consider that hometown hero, if that makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, that was good. I think that's a very good question. Okay, very good. All right, I am because I'm trying to zoom. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go too fast today, but I do have to scoot here in just a few minutes. Let's hit some of the other things that we haven't hit yet, which is like actually first let me remind you, Filigree Coffee House on July 3rd. Go ahead and do that. If you're here in the area, please come join us. Coffee is on us that morning. If you're getting this postcard, however, it's important that if you have the postcard, coffee is on us. If you bring, God, I cannot be a weatherman. See, look at that, backwards all the time. Bring this and coffee is on us. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do your secret.
Do my secret? Okay, my secret. Okay, secret. Okay, as we have said before, in the state of Florida, we cannot publicly advertise specific listings more than 24 hours in advance. So these are just coming in the future. One of them is in the Windermere area, and one of them is in St. Cloud. Both of them obviously are resales. Both of them relatively new, beautiful homes. So stay tuned in the coming weeks, because those will be probably listed first part of July-ish. So for those of you that might be looking to come here along that timeline, and those of you that are my clients that haven't yet chosen a home, don't be surprised if I send you information on these just in case they check off boxes for you. But these are some really lovely, beautiful homes that are coming up on the market really soon. So I hope you will join me and buy one. That would be fantastic. I have a question over here, I think from
Melanie had a follow-up.
Melanie, thanks for the info. Is it difficult to find properties in Winter Garden that are non-HOA? Yes, absolutely. Because if you find something in Winter Garden that's not in an HOA, it's going to be a very old home, or it's not going to be truly part of the community or a community. Like I sold a home in Winter Garden. Actually, it's closing in a few days. The Downtown Dream that we had that was built in 1949. So that home built in 1949 does not have an HOA. It is in Winter Garden. It's very close to downtown historic Winter Garden, but it's also not part of an HOA, and it's a home that's super duper duper old. So there are those that exist, but they are not very easy to find by any stretch of the imagination. And Eric is standing, so...
Hi. I think the yes and of your thing is, it's kind of a no and. There are communities, but Amy, I would maybe share how you can be of value helping people understand if you have to have an HOA, you kind of know which HOAs are sort of overeager and which ones are kind of like, okay, do your own thing, right? Can't you help with that kind of?
Well, I can tell you based on experience, yeah. I don't know everybody's HOA. I know some that are a little bit more overbearing than others.
That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You can help them know, hey, this one's kind of...
Yeah, a little in your stuff, a little bit more than they should be. But the truth is, this is really, truly the way I feel. An HOA is there to help the community and to maintain your property value. That is what they're supposed to be there to do. They're supposed to be there to maintain the amenities. They're supposed to be there to make sure that the HOA fees and dues, that things that are being done that are supposed to be done, but they're not supposed to tell you whether or not you can have a rocking chair on your front porch, in my opinion. They shouldn't be there to say, hey, you can't have a garden flag, without HOA approval, or you can't hang an American flag on your front porch unless you have HOA approval. Those are the things that I feel personally are like, well, that's just a little bit overreaching. Now, if you have something offensive or if it like that, then okay, maybe there can be a problem. But I would never want to be in charge of an HOA because there are just so many people. It's like, who determines what's offensive and what's not? So that's why they just have to have a policy, right? So it can be both good and bad. It's a double-edged sword. But yeah, there are some communities where it can be a little bit extreme. But I will tell you that the general covenants, codes, and restrictions for most HOAs are the same. And most of them are, some of them, don't park on the street. Some of them that's lax. You can only park on one side of the road. But most of them are like, you can't park campers, trailers, boats, work vehicles with big signage on them, things like that. And they want you to keep your lawn maintained, and they want to make sure that your garbage bins are not out on the exterior of your home, that they're hidden away either in your garage or behind a HOA approved mini fence in the side yard. So things like that. And I do think the whole purpose of it is to help and to maintain the property value. But yeah, there are definitely some, I think Allie and Hong are dealing with their HOA right now. The security system that comes with the home. Yeah, there's a security system that comes with the home when they purchase new construction, right? So it's new construction. The builder includes the system and the service and the monitoring company. The monitoring company comes in after closing and asks if you want any add-ons, right? If you want any extra little cameras or whatever, but they get everything hooked up that was included with the builder. And now they are getting notices of you can't have a camera on the front exterior of your home. It's like, but it was part of the security package that the builder had. So there's definitely some pain in the butts. Let's be honest. There are definitely some like, all right, seriously, you're like going to make us like deal with all of this nonsense when it's just common sense. But again, there's probably a reason for all of that. So, okay, let me scooch to one other thing real quick. What should we do? Let's do what I'm watching. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this one last week, but I have finished what there is to watch of a show called From, and this was on MGM Plus, but I was watching it on Prime, right? Amazon Prime Video, whatever it is. I was watching it there. I watched season 1 on that. And then if I wanted to watch season 2, then I had to do the free subscription to MGM Plus. And then there were like 8 episodes of that. And then it just stopped. So I don't know. I'm stuck. Help me, because I'm very interested in this one. This one is not complete. It did not come to an ending. It got to a very important part. So I don't know. I don't know how I can find out. So if you are watching this, tell me what you think, but also tell me where I can find the final episodes or what's happening with it. Maybe it's something that comes on weekly and now I just need to catch up. I don't know. So just help me out, please. Anyway, but I do think it's very good. This show is kind of a mix between The Walking Dead and Stranger Things. That's the way I can describe it. It's not really zombies like Walking Dead, but sort of kinda. And then it's kind of got this alternate upside down world effect, kind of like Stranger Things. So if you liked those two, you might want to give this one a try. So anyway, all right, let me go back to this. Eric, did you have something?
There's just a few more questions.
I don't see any more questions.
There are.
Okay, well, I am looking and I don't see any, mister.
Well, yeah, okay, well, so there's that one.
Oh.
There's that one.
Okay. So, all right. So for single family residents, lawn treatment for fertilizer and weed control are non-HOA. It depends, okay? Because there are communities like the community of Waterley, all of that is included. You don't do anything to your lawn. You don't pull a weed, you don't edge it, you don't mulch it, you don't remove a shrub if it's dead. They do literally everything. But in most communities, even if the lawn maintenance is included, it doesn't necessarily mean weeding and fertilizer and that kind of stuff. You know what's interesting is here in Virginia, you would like aerate, seed, and lime your yard. Here, it's kind of a different thing, just because our soil is different. Everything was kind of the sod to begin with, but usually the fertilizer and the weeding, those things are not included. But I can't say never, because Waterley does all of it, literally all of it. They don't want you to touch your yard, like literally, they do not want you to touch your yard.
Just maybe mention at Waterley, you're not actually allowed to. Why aren't you even allowed to like plant a tree? Yeah,
well, I mean, so in that community, Waterley we're talking about, HOA includes lawn maintenance, everything. Like I just said, the weeding, the edging, the mowing the grass, even in the backyard. If you fence in your yard, you're required to put a gate in there so that the HOA people can come in and maintain it. They have a very strict guideline on how much greenery they want on each property. And so you can't actually even remove, so in a lot of the homes, there'll be like flower beds and things that are in the back. And honestly, kind of like in the middle of the backyard, which is really weird. I'm like, I don't know why you're doing that. But if it's in the middle of the backyard, some people are like, well, I want to add a pool, or I want to extend my lanai, or I'm going to put a kid's playground, or whatever it is that you might want to do. And you may need to move or get rid of that flower bed. And even those, to my understanding, if you remove it, that greenery needs to be relocated. You can't just rip it up and throw it out. You have to be able to create something that's equal or equivalent to that elsewhere on the property in the backyard, just so that there's more greenery. So to my understanding, that's kind of how it was explained to me a long, long time ago. And I will say again, my daughter and son-in-law, they planted some trees around their fence or shrubs. They had to get HOA approval, and they would like to remove their section because candidly, it's a great place for snakes to get. It's in the middle of the backyard and their puppies run out there and there's like little burrs and things in it. So they would like to have that removed. So once they deal with their little exterior camera issue with the HOA, then they'll go on to requesting to remove that. So anyway, hope that helps. All right, so let's do one more thing and then I got to scoot. And because what I'm gonna do is hit the Rob, your question, how is that overpriced house doing on the market? It's still on the market.
And I just looked up no showing scheduled this week, and they haven't lowered the price. And
yeah. So
second verse, same as the first.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. All right. Well, before we do this, then before I go, let's do the market update, just because I know a lot of you like to do that kind of comparison. So I think this is the right button. If not. Okay, so again, if you've been following the little market update graphic that Eric does here, we always put last week's and then we put this week. And again, this is the past 30 days. So it's just a nice thing for you to be able to kind of look and reference back to. If you like the number, if you like the deep dive into this data and you like to see all of the actives, the canceled, the closed, expired, pendings, withdrawals, holds, all those types of things, the main thing we like to look at is a couple of things. Like first of all, 166 active last week, 155 active this week. The canceled seem to be the same. 174 closed this week as opposed to 157 last week. But the other thing is the absorption rate. So if you think about that, last week, this is the biggest jump in our opinion. So 32 days of absorption rate last week, and now it's 27. So we are back to low inventory, my friends, or not low, but lower. Anything below 30 means that it's going to go a little bit faster because we just don't have the inventory. So, it's people can say what they want all over the place, but this is the real stuff that's happening right here. And it is things are still selling, and it may take a little bit longer in some cases for some homes, but generally speaking, when you look at the bigger picture, we are still somewhat short of inventory, not depleted like we were when it was only like 2, 3, 4 days worth. But, so hopefully my little inside secrets that are going to be coming on the market soon will be able to go pretty quickly. All right. So let us get back to this. Eric, we have one more thing, right? Zillow. Let's do Zillow. And then I'm going to scoot out of here so I can go get to my client. So let's do Zillow real fast because this is, as always, they're interesting. Okay, so this is a cute house. I actually think it's beautiful, and this is in Edmond, Oklahoma. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 4,884 square feet, a little over 1.5, almost 1.6 million. It's beautiful, right? It's got some cute stuff. I think the pool was beautiful. I loved kind of the cement, and then all of a sudden with the rocks around it. But then you look inside, and it is a bit extravagant. It's very busy. And this is not necessarily a negative. It's just there's a lot going on. But I think if you pared it down, it would be stunning. It's just, in my opinion, it's very energetic. There's a word. It's a very energetic home. I feel very. If I lived there, I would feel very stressed. Just because there's a lot happening all over the place. Not that I don't like it or that I don't think it's pretty. I just think that if it were pared down, if you kind of remove some of maybe the fabrics and the furniture that kind of adds to the vibrancy of it. There we go, another word. I don't have a problem with it at all. I would probably repaint some things a bit neutral, but just all the different patterns, I think for me is a little bit overwhelming. Now that's pretty. The bathroom is lovely. That's fine. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I said that. And then it showed more pictures of it. But yeah, there's some elements. I think if you pare that one down, but anyway, so if you're looking in Edmond, Oklahoma, and you have 1.6 million, that is quite a lovely. But see, I like the little fire pit area outside. It's really nice. I think it has fantastic potential. So
just live outside. Live outside.
There you go. Awesome. All right, guys. Okay, so I do one more check for questions just in case. I think I'm good too. So thank you guys for joining me. Again, happy Juneteenth. Please celebrate if you happen to be off today. Please, take a moment to reflect, to think, to enjoy. I have, even though I don't have a closing today because it got moved to tomorrow because of Juneteenth, I do have new homeowner orientation today, so I really do need to scoot. Just as a reminder, as Eric has this scrolling, next week, Eric and I will be traveling to Virginia for our son's college orientation. So we will be doing a premiere at 9 o'clock on Monday. So you can still please join in, still chat. You know, I don't want you to forget us on Monday morning. We just won't be here live. But then the following one is the July 3rd, where we will be at Filigree Coffee House. So, and that one will be live. We'll be chatting with you just like normal. It's just instead of my backdrop being what you're typically seeing, it will be the Filigree Coffee House there at Home State Brewing Company in Hamlin. All right. With that, my friends, I have got to scoot. So lots of love and hugs to all of you. As always, please remember to stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you, and happy house hunting. Bye, guys. See you next week.